Hi, I've just put this short video together to answer 10 frequently asked questions about the TEFL industry. I hope you find it useful. Question number 1. I've heard people talk about TEFL, TESOL and ELT. What do all the different initials mean? Well, ELT means English language teaching or English language training. TEFL means teaching English as a foreign language. Now these two terms are practically interchangeable, but there seems to be a move in favour of ELT. When talking about qualifications, the British Council now refers to a certificate in ELT/TESOL. EFL is English as a foreign language, as opposed to the English taught in schools to native speakers. TESOL is teaching English as a second language, for example to immigrants. And TESOL is teaching English to speakers of other languages, which is more or less the same as TEFL, but can include TESOL as well. Question number 2. When people talk about teaching EFL, do they mean in the UK or abroad? Well, most TEFL work is abroad, but there is a big influx of foreign students into the UK in the summer, usually from mid-June to late August, so consequently it's relatively easy to find teaching work during that period. Outside of those months, it's difficult to find regular work in ELT in the UK. Question number 3. I haven't got a degree or a recognised certificate in ELT/TESOL. Could I teach EFL? Well, the answer is yes and no. The general rule is the more developed the country, the stricter the laws concerning the employment of EFL teachers and their qualifications. In practice, this usually means that teachers without recognised qualifications and with little or no experience end up with less than ideal working conditions in places like South America, the Far East and Africa. Many countries expect EFL teachers to be educated to degree level, so this can be a stumbling block as well for many people. Question number 4. So does that mean I can't teach EFL in a developed country without a degree and or a recognised EFL qualification? Well, the answer to that is no, not at all. Remember, I used the word usually in point number 3 above. I'm generalising here to give you an overview of the ELT industry and the opportunities within it. There will always be schools in Spain, Italy and elsewhere that suddenly need a teacher at short notice, and when that happens, employers will take on an unqualified or inexperienced native speaker if they think they will be able to do the job. So you can try your luck in places like that. The only problem with this approach is you have to be in the right place at the right time, and that can involve a fair bit of travelling, knocking on doors, and of course, rejections. Question number 5. I don't really know anything about the English language. Could I teach EFL? Being a good EFL teacher is not just about having a thorough subject knowledge, although obviously this helps a great deal. Remember that as a native speaker you should instinctively know what's grammatically right and wrong, and you will quickly build on that innate knowledge once you start teaching. If you haven't got the language knowledge or qualifications, you're going to have to make up for it in other ways, usually by being very confident and outgoing and a quick learner. Think about Robin Williams' classroom persona in Good Morning Vietnam. If you're not a confident user of the English language in both speaking and writing, and are also quite a shy person, it's a pretty safe bet that you won't make a very good EFL teacher, and perhaps more importantly, you won't enjoy the experience. Question number 6. I'm a confident user of English and think I have the personality to handle a classroom situation. Do I really need to get a qualification in ELT? Well, this is a question only you can answer, but before you can get to the answer, you need to be aware that all qualifications in ELT are not the same. Prices vary greatly, and so does the validity of each qualification, and by that I mean how widely it is recognised. Question 7. So what are the differences between the various ELT qualifications? Well, let's start with the most widely recognised qualifications. The two main ELT qualifications in the UK are the Certificate of English Language Teaching to Adults, the CELTA, awarded by the University of Cambridge Local Examinations Syndicate, UCLES, and the Certificate in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, the Cert TEFL, which is awarded by Trinity College London. Now, the information I've just given you is taken from the British Council website, and if you want to verify this, I'll put the link up on the screen now. Now, these two qualifications have worldwide recognition and are usually done intensively over 4 or 5 weeks. The cost of these courses does vary, but they're usually around £1,000. You don't have to do these courses in the UK. Even with flights factored in, it can work out cheaper to do it somewhere like Spain or the Czech Republic, where living costs are significantly cheaper than in the UK. Schools and colleges which are part of the Accreditation UK scheme must employ teachers who have a valid certificate in ELT. To be considered as a valid certificate in ELT/TESOL, the qualification must A. be externally validated by a reputable examining body, usually a university or recognised examination board. B. Contain at least 6 hours supervised teaching practice, i.e. teaching practice where a qualified assessor observes the trainee teacher teaching real students and gives feedback on his or her performance. And C. Contain at least 100 hours of ELT/TESOL input. It is the criteria above which differentiate these courses from all the other cheaper options. With regard to online courses, the British Council says, distance learning courses can also be a good introduction, but feedback on your teaching practice is essential, and most distance courses will not include this, and therefore will not be acceptable to many teaching institutes. Again, this sentence is taken from the British Council website. And again, if you want to verify this, here's the link. Okay, question number 8. I don't really want to invest £1,000 in an ELT qualification. What other options are there? I've seen the claim, become a fully qualified TEFL teacher in 2 days. Is this possible? This is where you have to be really careful, because apart from the CELTA and Cert TESOL courses, everything is unregulated. By this I mean that you can't assume that a course you pay £300 for will be 3 times better than one you pay £100 for. It simply doesn't work like that. As for becoming a fully qualified TEFL teacher in 2 days, that is simply misleading, and no reputable company should make such a claim. Question number 9. But I've seen online courses which say they're fully accredited, they have details of the accrediting body, and they seem very reputable. Aren't these the best of the cheaper courses? To answer this, I would draw your attention back to the British Council criteria under question 7. They're quite clear about what constitutes a valid course. Secondly, think about the practical nature of language teaching, and then think of another practical skill with which you will be more familiar: cooking. Would you do an online cookery course and expect to become fully qualified without ever having so much as boiled an egg? Now put yourself in the employer's shoes. Would you feel confident hiring a chef who hadn't actually been in a kitchen? The internet is great for gathering information and communicating quickly and cheaply, but it clearly has its limitations where developing a practical skill is concerned. It has also enabled many poorly qualified people to set up and market online courses of dubious quality while making rather ambitious claims about their validity. Anyone can pay to become a member of an accrediting body to make their certificate seem more professional, and they may fool some employers in far-flung places, but don't be misled about their real value. And lastly, question number 10. So the best courses are very expensive, and the rest are not necessarily good value for money. How do I decide what to do? First, you need to decide what your motivation is for looking into ELT qualifications in the first place. Are you looking for a complete career change, or just a way of earning money while travelling? Secondly, are you planning on going abroad? If so, to which country or countries? Obviously, if you're seriously considering a career in the ELT industry, a CELTA or Cert TESOL course might be a good investment. Whereas if you're thinking about just combining teaching English with some travelling in developing countries, you really need to look at other options. First of all, beginning a career in teaching can be quite daunting, so it's worth being as well informed as possible, not just to land a job, but to actually be able to do it effectively with as little stress as possible. Okay, as I said at the beginning, I hope you found that useful. If you're looking for a TEFL job for this summer, go to www.networktefl.com, where there are job listings for 60 towns and cities around the UK. Thanks for listening.